Did you know Jamie Foxx has been in the hospital following an undisclosed medical emergency? Because I didn't. Welcome back to Beyond the Screen. Today we have top 10 warning signs Jamie Foxx would be hospitalized in 2023. Starting us off at number 10, we have the social media post. So apparently he's been in the hospital for 3 weeks and I genuinely had no idea until this past weekend when he posted on his Instagram. The post read, "Appreciate all the love, feeling blessed," as fans and celebrity fans had been sending their support to the actor. Sometime mid-April, it was reported that he had endured an emergency on set which required immediate medical attention. No one had any idea what happened or if he was okay until a public statement was posted by his daughter, Corinne. She wrote, "We wanted to share that my father, Jamie Foxx, experienced a medical complication yesterday. Luckily, due to quick action and great care, he is already on his way to recovery. We know how beloved he is and appreciate your prayers. The family asks for privacy during this time." Because of this, she decided to take a break from her job as a DJ to be by her father's side. While it remains unclear the severity of his illness or what he even has in the first place, one source claimed that the actor is actually okay. They also said he would be staying in the hospital until further notice, as doctors wanted to keep him in for more tests and observation. At number 9, we have the Meltdown. Before he went to the hospital, he was filming the upcoming Netflix movie Back in Action, starring himself and Cameron Diaz. It seems as though things had been stressful for the actor on set right before he experienced his emergency. Could it be possible all of these things contributed to it? No one can say for sure, but it has been proven that severe cases of stress can lead to high blood pressure and other heart-related issues. Now, I'm not saying that this is exactly what he's dealing with, so take this information with a grain of salt. But stress isn't very healthy for someone with a taxing job. It was reported that he had a meltdown on set, which resulted in him firing lots of staff crew. Apparently included was an executive producer, 2 directors, and his own driver. It wasn't disclosed what happened exactly or if they were let go for justified reasons. Filming was a whole other source of stress as it constantly had to be pushed back due to unexpected weather conditions. Things took a turn when filming was later further delayed after an explosive device from World War II was found on set, where they planned to film multiple action scenes. I can only imagine the tension on set. It must have been difficult not just for Jamie, but for the other castmates like Cameron and the other staff crew. When you're just trying to do your job and film these scenes, but then you're not able to get things done, that also means a lot of money is gone. At number 8, we have Stunts. Back in 2012, the actor was cast in Quentin Tarantino's film Django Unchained. In this movie, he played a man seeking vengeance toward his former owner who treated him and his wife so viciously. So with a plot like that, the movie was bound to be violent and messy, which means lots of fighting, which means lots of physical labor. Thank God for stunt doubles, am I right? But what made Jamie fear for his life was riding the horses on set. He is actually a trained horseback rider to an extent, so it wasn't like he had no idea what he was doing. But he did say that the horse was more used to a stunt double on their back, so him having to be on the horse himself was definitely an experience for both him and the horse. He explained that the risks with this stunt meant that everyone was all hands on deck. Lots of staff were at his side, arms out and ready if he were to fall off somehow. There was a particular scene where he had to ride the horse without a saddle, which was already scary enough for the actor. But being the actor that he is, he was able to play it off with ease. He also admitted that inside, he was petrified. It was because of this he managed to convince Tarantino for permission to bring his own horse, Cheetah. Next up, we have him as a hard partier. While for some, aging means settling down and taking things slower, but this is not the case for Jamie. He continues to keep birthdays big and exciting no matter what. For his 50th birthday in 2017, he took a less traditional route and had a theme. This theme was very similar to the reality show Survivor, as he had all of his guests arrive on an island only to be eliminated following some tasks. He was very vague about it all, not wanting to give it away completely, but it definitely sounded like a time. So when asked about his age, he said that he still felt young and goofy, hence the extravagant celebration. But he also said he can't go to clubs anymore because there's only young people there and he can't really vibe with them. which was ironic because 2 years later, he ended up celebrating his birthday at a club. It was the typical club celebration with a huge booth and the drinks and the signs with his name on it held by the female staff and the dancing and the loud music, and the list goes on. If you've looked at your peers' Instagram stories on a Friday night, you'll know exactly the environment I'm talking about. While this is comparably less wild than his 50th birthday, it's still big and bold just the same, and he wouldn't have it any other way. At number 6, we have leg day. So as someone who cares about body health and exercise, he did admit to lacking in one particular section of the body: his legs. He voluntarily chooses to skip leg day because, in his words, brothers don't do legs, whatever that means. He explained that he likes to be big at the top and small at the bottom, saying, "I could beat you up, but I can't chase you." In 2019, he attempted to take a squat class, but it was way too hard. He said that he couldn't do it because he doesn't have calves. Now obviously he does have calves. It was only hard because he wasn't used to it and didn't want to keep it up. I say this like I'm some sort of gym expert. He turned to coaching for his youngest daughter's basketball team, but that also ended up being a short-lived experience. He only coached once and doubts they'll ever ask for him back. He shared that when it comes to basketball, he gets way too excited. And sure, lots of people are this way. But for a little basketball league for a bunch of 11-year-olds, it can be excessive and harmful. It's a regular Saturday afternoon for these kids, not an NBA championship. He admitted that at the game, the referee came up to him and said, "I love Django, but you've got to get off the court." At number 5, we have the set scam. So back to the film, back in action. Apparently, someone tried a money scam on the actor. One of the crew members asked him for $35,000 in cash. It's unclear if he was selling something or asking for a loan, but regardless, any reason is just as weird and super unprofessional. They also tried to sweeten the deal by including a Rolex watch, which definitely points to some type of weird selling pitch they were trying to do. Fox called the police on the employee, where he was immediately fired and investigated. Some sources were speculating that this wasn't even the employee's first attempt with a celebrity, which I can't help but think, but why does Hollywood keep hiring this person in the first place? If he's some known instigator, surely a huge industry like Hollywood would perform thorough background checks on all of their workers. So this, paired with the other on-set issues that kept happening, I can't help but feel like it serves a type of omen that this film should not be happening. Too many things are happening, no one can catch a break, and I'm not just talking about Jamie. But you know how it is in Hollywood, the show must go on. At number 4, we have inappropriate allegations. So a few years ago, it came out that he had taken advantage of a woman in 2002. The woman told authorities that when she attended a Las Vegas party with a friend, she met Jamie, where he forced her to do certain things with him that she didn't want to do. She ended up going to the hospital following a severe panic attack right after their non-consensual activities. Jamie denied this ever happened and filed a lawsuit against the woman. One of his reps came out with a statement saying, "The first time Jamie became aware of this woman's absurd claims about an incident that supposedly occurred 16 years ago was when TMZ contacted his representatives Tuesday about this story." They also said the alleged incident was not reported to law enforcement in 2002 or at any other time in the last 16 years until last Friday because the incident never happened. This case was apparently closed due to how long it had been when the violation took place. Apparently in the state of Nevada, cases of this nature need to be reported within the 3 years it happened, which I have many thoughts about, but that's for another time. So Jamie was never arrested or charged for it, and as for his lawsuit, well, not much came out of that either. At number 3, we have support. Following the news that he was hospitalized, came many supportive statements from his other celebrity peers. Kerry Washington, whom he had played her movie husband twice, shared an Instagram post dedicated to him. She wrote, "Sending you all the love and prayers, my movie husband." His other former co-star, Garcelle Beauvais, sent her wishes following the same sentiment as she wrote, "I love you so much. I want and need you to get better soon. Sending you light, love, and prayers." Nick Cannon shared some light on the situation as he also showed support for his friend. In an interview, he said, "I know he's doing so much better because I'm actually about to do something special for him and doing him a favor. The favor in question was Nick temporarily replacing him as a guest host on the show Beat Shazam. While this seemed like a cutthroat decision from the showrunners, Nick reassured that he actually got Jamie's blessing to accept the opportunity in the first place. This was probably the best way to go about it, considering Jamie was literally in the middle of filming a whole other movie, so it could have been a whole schedule conflict thing anyways. At number 2, we have conspiracy theories. One can't help but be curious about what really is going on with Jamie. People were designed to be annoyingly curious, and that means being nosy to a fault. With this incident came many theories shared by internet users around the world. It ranged from harmless speculation that he had suffered a stroke, which is actually plausible, but since no one can confirm that, it could easily be incorrect as well. And then there was one who believed it was because of the vaccine. Like, how do you even come to that conclusion? The Twitter user wrote, "I told y'all that it would take a famous celeb like Jamie Foxx having a huge medical emergency and me merely mentioning that he was vaccinated to get the attention of the extreme woke left because they are getting nervous about all those boosters they had." Which, bestie, I promise you, the only person who came to a vaccine-related conclusion was you. Yeah, I now understand why it was their priority to share very little, because no matter what they do, things will always be twisted to fit baseless narratives. It gets worse when people started claiming he passed away, despite both his daughter and he himself posting that he is doing fine. Finally, at number 1, we have marriage. Living the traditional married life was never in the cards for him, he admitted in an interview. He said, "The 2.5 children, the wood paneling on the station wagon, and the cottage, I didn't think that was for me." He also acknowledged that lots of marriages don't end well and end up affecting the kids, which is something he did not want to happen with his daughters. When it comes to the relationship he has with his daughters, he said, "We actually came together more. So I don't know what that is, I just know that it is different, but it's a whole lot of love." He also said that the pressure that comes with marriage was something he'd like to avoid at all costs. He prefers to keep things moving and living as he always had. He made it clear that his family will always be a priority to him, and while it's not necessarily like the typical family based on societal norms, it clearly seems to be working for him and his kids. I can't help but think about what's gonna happen to the Back in Action movie. You only use a stand-in or a stunt double for so long. I feel like they should just take the L and delay filming until further notice. I mean, it wouldn't be the last time. What do you think? Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.